2020 Chevy Silverado air conditioning after a front end collision. So on this one, the original old condenser was reused. Just the lines had to be removed out of the way because all this stuff had to be replaced down here and moved around. And so right now it's 50 some degrees outside. Let's see. Actually right here at this point in the shop it's actually warmer because I'm measuring from right here with the thermocoupler. So I have 60 degrees air temperature being pulled across the condenser, and that's by the one that says OD dB outdoor dry bulb temperature. Okay. So then the next temperature we're doing, this has an internal heat exchanger on the liquid line. And this is the thing I've been mentioning to a lot of you guys who are used to grabbing the pipes and determining whether a system is full or not. Old school method that you can't do anymore with these kind of units. Okay, so you notice this is extra large here. This pipe is 7/8, 1 inch, 24 millimeters wide right here. So when you get right here, this is the same pipe. This is the internal side. And here you're about 3/4 of an inch pipe right here. So this pipe is traveling inside another pipe, and this pipe has small chambers inside of it where the liquid refrigerant runs on the outside through a bunch of openings going all the way around. Think of a whole bunch of little tubes inside this pipe. So the hot gas coming from, see my temperature right there, that's the liquid line. So that's the liquid, hot liquid gas. What is the liquid line coming along here, and try to get you a picture. You can see right there where the liquid line goes inside the vapor line, the suction line, to cool off that liquid. Now the temperature of that liquid right now is 62 degrees. But wait a minute, what's the outdoor bulb temperature? About 62 degrees. So that temperature is taken from this thermistor that's right here of the air temperature going over the condenser. The liquid line temperature out of the condenser is taken at this temperature right here on the liquid line right there. But then I'm hooked up after the heat exchanger. I got another temperature probe here hooked up to my manifold. So you get to see the temperature drop caused by the vapor refrigerant extracting heat from the liquid refrigerant. And that is liquid line temperature. See where it says LLT? That is the liquid line, 59 degrees. So there's a little drop from 62.6 to 59 for front. It extracted a little. This is more extreme on hotter days. Remember, we're on a cool ambient morning right now. On the suction line temperature at my Bluetooth temperature sensor, which is located right here, right at the vapor side. This is after the heat exchanger. So I have another temperature sensor coming from the manifold on the suction line temperature, SLT, 49 degrees. And then after the exchange of heat from the liquid line to the vapor, by the time it gets to this side, from the other side, it's risen up to 42 degrees. So you can see the exchange of heat that happens between the heat exchanger at that point. And this has become more drastic on hotter days. So definitely for those guys who use the little cans and they grab a line and they try to determine, they'll have a warmer suction line temperature, and they'll be grabbing that suction line and they'll be overcharging the system because the hot liquid gas is exchanging its heat with the suction line, and they're grabbing this line right here, and they're getting a hot, warmer temperature, thinking the old school method that they need to add more refrigerant. This is for the technicians who use the beer can cold method. That don't work no more. Now, you're also talking about when you have vehicles like this, they have variable displacement compressors. And if they're using the beer can cold method, or they're trying to use pressures, and they're saying, well, the pressure should be such and such. Well, here's the high side pressure. We're 91 PSI. That is normal. And I have recorded vehicles that had a high side pressure operating as low as 68 PSI, and that is normal for a high side pressure on some vehicles. So get the idea of normal or rules of thumb or what you were taught by old guys out of your head. It doesn't apply no more. I don't know how many times I have to say this. Get it out of your head. It's that old basic rules of, you know, all refrigeration or air conditioning is the same. Not once you start adding variable speed compressors, variable speed blowers, variable speed condenser fan motors, all that basic stuff you were taught in school. Kind of hold on to it, but basically take it and drop that book in the garbage can. You got a new set of rules to learn, and the rules of thumb is not one of them. You use a rule of thumb, I'll cut your thumb off. So we got 41 degrees coming out of the duct. My air at this point, which is a very bad reference because the hood is open right now, and I could feel the warm exhaust air blowing from the heater being pulled right up inside here, and that's not the mixed air temperature. I'm being lazy, and I'm not separating the corral and sticking it all the way back there or going from the inside to take the mixed air. This is just the air at this point. Remember, this is drawing air across the whole area, and it's different temperatures at different spots. So this is a bad place to take your air temperature at. If you've seen my other videos, I correct that and I show you how to properly do it in some of my other videos. Sometimes I leave that information out and sometimes I mention it. That's it for now. I just wanted to show the difference between the heat exchanger. Here's our section line, 49 degrees. Here's our section line, 53 degrees. Here's our liquid line temperature, 60 degrees, 62 degrees. And this gets more extreme on more extreme hot days. We're at a cold morning, so you barely see a difference. If it's 90 or 100 or 115 degrees, you'll see a real big difference. That's it for this little short video. Just wanted to go in on the purpose and kind of showing you a little bit more. Go on YouTube, go to some of the manufacturers and look up these internal heat exchangers and see how they're cut open and see how they flow refrigerant so you better understand them.